A long time ago, in a quiet village surrounded by trees and hills, there was a strange old mansion. It was big, broken, and full of cobwebs. The villagers called it the Witch's Mansion. No one dared to go near it, especially at night. People said strange things happened there. Doors opened by themselves, windows banged in the wind, and heavy footsteps echoed across the roof. Inside that scary mansion lived a very fat witch named Pambu. Pambu was not an ordinary witch. She was large, loud, and very dramatic. When she walked on the roof, it sounded like thunder. When she laughed, birds flew away from the trees in fear. But Pambu had a soft heart. She didn't want to scare people. She had only one dream. I want to get married. Every day, Pambu would sit in front of a broken mirror, put on her red lipstick, comb her wild hair with a bone comb, and say to herself, "One day, a handsome man will love me, even if I'm fat, even if I'm a little spooky." Every Friday night, she floated near the village and tried to meet someone. She would hide behind trees, giggle from rooftops, or sit near the village well jingling her anklets. Then she'd call out in her deep, witchy voice, "Hee, who will marry me?" But every time the village boys saw her, they screamed and ran away. One boy shouted, "Run! It's the fat ghost bride." Another said, "I'll marry a monkey before I marry her." Poor Pambu would sigh and sit alone on the mansion roof, staring at the moon. Why does no one love me? Don't I have feelings, too? But one day, everything changed. A traveler named Kashif came to the village. He was curious, brave, and had a kind heart. The villagers told him about the haunted mansion and the fat witch who wanted a husband. Everyone warned him, "Don't go near that place. She's searching for a groom. You'll never return." But Kashif just laughed. "I don't believe in such things. And maybe she's not as bad as you all think." That night, under the half moon, he walked toward the mansion. The wind blew through the trees. The old gates creaked open. Inside, the mansion was dark, cold, and silent, except for a strange smell of rose perfume and chili powder. Kashif looked around. He saw spiderwebs on the walls, bats hanging from the ceiling, and in one corner, a large figure wearing a white sari with spiderweb designs. Suddenly, a voice whispered, "Are you afraid of me?" He turned and saw Pambu, standing tall with glowing eyes and sharp nails. Her long hair flowed in the wind and she held a rose in her hand. But Kashif didn't run. He smiled and said, "No, you look different, but not scary." Pambu was shocked. "You didn't run away?" Kashif shrugged. "Why should I? You seem lonely, not dangerous." No one had ever spoken kindly to Pambu before. Her heart skipped a beat. She blushed, and steam rose from her ears, maybe because she had eaten extra spicy lentils for dinner. Then Kashif joked, "So, Miss Witch, will you marry me?" Pambu jumped with joy. Yes, 100 times yes. The next morning, the entire village was buzzing with the news. The witch is getting married. People didn't know whether to laugh or be scared. Some thought Kashif had gone mad. But the wedding preparations had already started. Guests came from far and wide. Ghosts, witches, old spirits, even talking owls and flying cats. The mansion was cleaned up and decorated with glowing mushrooms and floating candles. Pambu wore her favorite white sari with cobwebs and moonlight sparkles. Her lipstick was extra bright, and her hair had wildflowers stuck in it. She looked, well, like a happy witch bride. The food was strange: frog soup, bat wings, and eyeball pudding, with chocolate flavor, of course. The music was loud and spooky. A three-eyed witch played the drums, and a ghost did a backflip in joy. Everyone cheered as Kashif and Pambu sat together. He smiled and whispered, "You're not scary at all. You're just one of a kind." After the wedding, they moved to a small cottage near the forest. Kashif planted flowers, and Pambu made potions to help the sick villagers. Slowly, people stopped being afraid of her. Some even came to her for advice or tea. Though Pambu still had her loud laugh and her big body, she wasn't lonely anymore. She had found someone who saw her heart, not just her looks.